Hi, my name's Sam. I live here in this house. It's my first year in college. I have a pretty good family too. Mom, dad, brother, sister, you know. And this is my room. And I love my donuts.
My name is Yasmin, but you can call me Jasmine. My family just moved to the States for my first year of university. Talk about a big change.
My parents are very solid Christians. Their lives are all about do's and don'ts and that kind of stuff. So, obviously, I was raised in church. Sometimes, I feel more like a churchian than a Christian because of all the church meetings and retreats I go to.
I come from a very devout Muslim family. We follow the Quran and pray to Allah. I grew up in Egypt and began wearing a veil when I was 10 years old. We have learned to pray 5 times a day, and every Friday my family goes to the mosque.
So we have this college ministry at my church. There's lots of campouts, sports, movie nights, all that kind of stuff. When it comes to teaching, we have a college pastor, and he's the most boring teacher I have ever heard. If I can't find anything to do on Saturday night, I'll go to the college meeting at church. I usually sleep through the message, but I get to hang out with friends afterwards.
Back in Egypt, everyone is Muslim. But I hear that in America, most everyone is Christian. I was so surprised to see how many different groups there are in Christianity. I think they call it denominations.
I didn't even know there were mosques in our country, but I just found out there are 3 mosques in town. That's crazy.
I couldn't believe the number of churches here in town. There are almost as many churches as gas stations. How funny.
My parents and people at church want me to live a certain way, but it stops me from having fun sometimes. My parents don't have to know about it. As long as they're happy, they don't mind giving me what I need. I like hanging out with friends on Friday nights. Partying's a lot of fun. I want to live life to the fullest, 'cause you only live once. Oh. Hey, what's up, bro? Yeah? Oh yeah, of course I'll be there. Totally. Oh no, that's no worries. I'll make something up. My parents will never know. I've done it a million times, man. Rockin'. Alright, cool.
I have heard about Islam before.
Yes, I have heard about Islam, but I'm really not quite sure what all it entails or what all anything of that goes.
I've learned about Islam through college courses and just general exposure through news and world events.
Yes, I've heard about Islam before. Many of my friends are Islamic in California.
The Islamic views of Christ. In this session, we want to look at some of the views that we agree on. Contrary to what some people may think, Jesus is thought very highly of within Islam and among Muslims. There are several areas that we can agree on, although there are some areas that we can strongly disagree on too. In the next section, we'll look at those things that we disagree on. But for now, let's look at these things that we do agree on concerning who Jesus is. Throughout the Quran, there are many references to Jesus, his life, as well as his mother, Mary. Mary herself is thought highly of within Islam. And because our Muslim neighbors think so highly of Mary and of Jesus, we need to look at how they see him. They see him with great respect and great honor, and you will never find anything within the Quran spoken to degrade him. We also need to look at some of his titles that he is given within the Quran. One of the first things that's very obvious is their understanding that Jesus did exist. In the world we live in today, many people say Jesus was not a historical figure, that he did not exist. It's even taught in our universities and in our schools. But to the Muslim and in the Quran, just as it is in the Bible, Jesus is a historical person, someone that did exist and even does exist to this day. To our Muslim neighbors, again, there is no question of his existence. Overall, Jesus is mentioned 15 times in the 114 chapters within the Quran. 15 of the chapters include references to him, over 10%. In the Quran, though, Jesus is called Isa. Understandably, it's easy for us to see across the world, God himself is referred to by different names in various languages. And Jesus is referred to as Isa. Itself is a derivative of the former word that we would look at from Judaism, where in Hebrew where he's called Yeshua. In the Syriac language, he's called Isa. It doesn't mean that he was different, just called by a different name in a different language. I also want us to look at a surah. In the Quran, chapter 19, it states that second of all, Jesus was born of a virgin birth, born of Mary. It says in this surah that relate in the book the story of Mary when she withdrew from her family to a place in the east. It goes on to say that she screened herself, and the angel Gabriel came to her. And as he came to her, he said that she was gracious, and she would receive God's grace and not to fear God, that he would come upon her. And he called himself a messenger of the Lord. And with that, he was bringing the good news of Christ's birth. He says that this child will be born and he will be a mercy to us. He will be a sign. He will be a word from God. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? John chapter 1 speaks of Jesus as being the Word, existent from all time. Some of the other titles that are given to Jesus are the following. Calls him the sign and a mercy, but also an example for mankind to live by. Also a witness, one who would proclaim God's truths. He was also seen as the Messiah. 11 times he is called Isa al-Masih, the Messiah. Although Muslims do not have a full understanding of the word, they see it as a title, but it is an important title to us as Christians. He's also referred to as the Son of Mary. 23 times he's called the Son of Mary. But yet, because of his virgin birth, you will never see Jesus referred to as the son of Joseph within the Quran. Just as with us, we see him as the Son of God, but not the son of Joseph. He is also referred to as a messenger to the Christian people to bring God's message and proclaim God's word, and also a prophet. With these titles, with his virgin birth, and with the fact of his existence, these things that we agree upon from the Quran that Muslims hold dear to, we have an open door to be able to speak to our Muslim neighbors and let them know who Jesus really and truly is. What a great opportunity to look upon these things that we agree on and be able to meet our neighbors with confidence that we do have things to talk about.
If he was just another prophet, if what he said was not the truth, then God's too far away to stop us from losing our way along this broken road. I understand your reservations. A church that hides behind a door. Deceit, hypocrisy, no morals. We're losing our way along this broken road. But there's freedom in the truth I've seen. His love can change from within. Behind the lies, the hope you'll find.